This video is brought to you by Cool Green Clothing. Cool Green Clothing is a Baltimore-based clothing line that started back in 2018 and has been growing strong ever since. Make sure you follow Cool Green Clothing on Facebook and IG at Cool Green Clothing, and check out their website, coolgreenclothing.com, where you can find the latest cool green fashions and hats, women's apparel, and the latest men's collection. Remember, if you ain't coolin' and getting the green, you're in the way.
Lawn name his brand himself. That's what I did myself. My name AC Green. If I turn AC to cool, you got cool green. And if you ain't cool and getting the green, you in the way. That's just basic. You know what I mean?
Gang.
So, yeah.
Man, the cool green is the shit. The cool green is, if you don't get no other authentic t-shirt, come down here to my man and represent for the brother Cool Green Clothing. That's COOLGREEN clothing line.
That's right. Spell it out for him.
The best clothing line you could ever get, bro. The best clothing line. The good Cool Green.
Man, how you hear about us?
Good through the good video of my man Tony 2 times. All the way from Annapolis to support Cool Green.
My man come down all the way from Annapolis, man. That's love.
What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to like, comment, share. Definitely watch the video to the end. Let's get right into it. Robbery, or hitting licks, is a crime that has been going on since the beginning of time. If you think about it, from corporate America back to the land from the native people. But in the trenches all over America, some individuals have made a living by hitting licks in the rush of fast money, which can be highly addictive. If someone is broke and go take something from a person, the allure of coming up that fast can push the robber into a life of fast money and the power they get from taking from others. But it's a deadly and tricky game. Some people work hard for their money and are not willing to let it go easy. This can lead to failed licks attempts or even bodies dropping. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will be discussing a man named Deandre Sleet and a Federal Hill robbery of Timothy Morricone that left one man with life in prison and another man with his life lost. BPD painted a picture of Deandre being in and out of trouble and different charges, but mostly robbery as a teen. As time went on, allegedly Deandre got more slick in his ways of hitting licks. An alleged robbing spree all through the city would leave Deandre and a lady friend facing serious charges. Allegedly, Deandre would take the young lady with him to scope people and finally make his move, with her being a getaway driver. Everything seemed to be working out. They would stand under the radar until one day, Deandre and Timothy's paths would cross. Allegedly, it was business as usual for the two. Deandre would get her to drive to Federal Hill, where they waited patiently to find a victim. The next thing, they spotted Timothy walking across the street on the 1200 block of Riverside Avenue. Deandre ran across the street to make his move, but somehow in the attempt, a single shot was fired, leaving Timothy dead on the scene. According to reports, when BPD arrived, Timothy's wallet was still on the scene and his bags. Police quickly noticed surveillance in the area, in which they viewed the tapes and saw a car pull up with a young man and woman, and a man getting out and seconds later running back to the car. And description of the vehicle and the award for the information was put out by the BPD, and allegedly more robberies would happen until one day Deandre and his lady friend were pulled over in a car that matched the description. Upon a search of the car, a 380 blicky was found in the glove compartment. Police arrested the two and did a ballistics test on the 380 and viewed the man running on surveillance. BPD alleged the ballistics matched and shots found on the crime scene in Federal Hill. The young lady was being held just on gun charges, but Deandre would be facing 8 charges, including robbery and murder. Days later, the young lady admitted to being the mother of Deandre's child, and allegedly they would go on drives where he would tell her to stop and don't ask questions. She also stated, while watching the news, Deandre stated, "That's the man I shot." As the trial went on, Timothy's family and the Federal Hill community were hurt and outraged. The two men, they say, never even met each other and the crime was senseless. The young lady would face more serious charges as well, but would accept a plea deal later on in the case. BPD allegedly linked Deandre to 3 more robberies. He was found guilty and sentenced to life plus 25 years in prison. The case was nationwide due to the area it happened in, and painting the couple like an inner city Bonnie and Clyde. More of this story, fast money is tempting, but you gotta know the consequences if something goes wrong. If you're going to do dirt, do it alone. Definitely not with your baby mother, because once that trigger is pulled, you can't take it back. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, crazy story, you feel me? Rest in peace to Timothy, you know what I mean? Like I say, this happened in Federal Hill, you feel me? Some people call that South Baltimore, some people don't. But the area, you know, I mean, it's pretty, you feel me? It's pretty chill down there. So if something happened, they gonna want answers. They say this was a college student, you feel me? They say he was on the right track. So they always gonna paint the picture like, man, this just a monster who came out here to our nice area and did this to somebody, you know what I mean? I don't know the circumstances of which the shots was fired, you feel me? Even police don't know that. All they seen was allegedly Deandre running back to the car that was drove by his baby mother. But the surveillance ain't pick up the actual robbery and what happened. So I don't know if Timothy tried to fight, you feel me? But sometimes that's how it go. Like I say, people work hard for their stuff. And sometimes, even if they ain't got no money on them, you feel me, it's fight or flight. Like some people, instead of, you know, freezing up, they first response be to react and try to either grab a blicky or do something to save their life. Because some people feel like you gonna shoot anyway. But man, it's a crazy story, you feel me? But like I say, bro got life plus 25 years, you know what I mean? His baby mother took a plea deal. But the thing about it, I'm thinking like, you shouldn't even take your baby mother on nothing like that with you, because you know, especially if y'all got a child at home, you know if anything happen, you feel me, she going down with you. And it could be worse, you feel me? They got locked up, but sometimes people shoot back, you feel me? So, you know what I mean? That's just a thing, you feel me, in our community, you feel me? We be thinking about the quick money, thinking about the lick, thinking about the come up, but the consequences don't cross a lot of people's mind until it's too late, you feel me? And sometimes I was locked up with dudes and the time ain't set in until they was already locked up like 10, 15 years. Then they finally realized like, man, I ain't never going home. So yeah, man, it ain't worth it at the end of the day. Y'all already know my slogan. But yeah, man, rest in peace to the young man that lost his life, you feel me? But y'all already know this is another episode of the Baltimore Way. Be sure to like, comment, and share. I appreciate the love and support like always. Love y'all, fam. This your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.